in. But Leroy and Cerrone, they've been here before. Leroy lurking, eyes locked in, and he pulls it loose. He's got the steal with 5 seconds left. He looks up, finds Cerrone. Cerrone catches, steps into it. A 3 for the win. He hit it. Cerrone from downtown. Leroy to Cerrone. They have done it again. They've done it up.
I am feeling really, really good today. It's the Leroy and Cerrone Show. 985 The Sports Hub. Welcome all. Cerrone, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself, man? How's things?
You know, married life is treating a brother well. Having a little bit too much fun, but that's what you're supposed to do. I got this Celsius drink. I know they are a sponsor here at the Sports Hub. Man, they got this pina colada one. Lord have mercy.
High on that energy.
Oh, yes, Lord. High on that energy. Feeling really, really good today. I got to log into the computer here. The number here, you guys know it, 617-779-0985. If you love what you're hearing or what you're going to hear, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tune in. I believe we are on YouTube Live.
That is correct.
So you can check us out on YouTube, obviously here on the radio. And we're just going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. Oh, before we go on. Cerrone, I got a TV yesterday. I got me, y'all, a 75-inch TV.
Bless your heart.
And,
welcome.
You know, thank you. It's been a long time since I've purchased, something for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me thinking. And, of course, we have men and women, children listening to this show. But can I just talk to the fellas for a second? Ladies, y'all can listen into. Children, y'all can listen into, for real. You're going to learn something. If you don't know, that guy, that man in your life is a very, very simple human being.
Mm-hmm.
Cerrone, when I got the TV, I said to myself, I'm all set.
You're good for the rest of the year.
I don't need anything else. I am good to go. And I just wanted to get that message out there. Ladies and gentlemen, that guy, that man in your life, ultimately, is just a very simple guy. All he wants is some peace. All he wants is some time to just sit down and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
To not be a provider. To not think about those types of things. Just a break. He loves you. He's going to do everything that he can to provide. He would even die for you. But sometimes we just want some peace. That's all we want, man.
And you always you see a lot of these things on social media, like, what do guys really want? What's the equivalent for this or that for a guy? And it's like, basically anything in the living room. You get him a new chair, a Xbox controller, a TV, a sound bar, a surround sound system,
Cerrone,
even some new wires, like a new HDMI cords. That man might cry.
Yeah, it's a smile.
Just something that simple. That's it. You go get him a TV, it's a wrap.
This is not a knock to my beautiful wife, Tina, but this is something that a lot of men go through. When I go shopping with her, and we end up, what's the perfume store and the makeup and all that?
Sephora?
Yes. Oh my! I get a headache instantly. I feel like I'm about to.
It's the lighting.
Out. I can't take it. I'm like, my God.
It's the lighting. It's overwhelming, and it's the lighting.
It's too much. Now I don't know if we have any type of sponsorship with this next store, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to say what it is. So I got the TV from Best Buy. Best Buy for me as a man is one of the last stores that you can literally walk in and feel at peace. I didn't want to leave. Yeah. You know how many times I've sat down in that section with the nice TVs? I'm not buying
the old Magnolia section.
$10,000 TVs. I'm not buying them, but I feel peace.
Yep.
Fellas, if you're out there, if you hear me, please tell me I'm not crazy.
You are not. When I see a Best Buy, because there's a store we go to a lot now is a Hobby Lobby. And wherever there's a Hobby Lobby, usually there's a Best Buy. Somewhere close by. I'll go in there with no intent on buying anything and make 2 laps. I go to the left and walk by the stoves and the refrigerators. I come around by the computer parts and then make my way to the TVs and just stare at the lovely 8K, $10,000 TVs that I'd never be able to afford. And then I just walk out and put my head down. But I blame Amazon. I blame Amazon and online shopping for taking away those feelings that we used to get as guys. There was always something for a guy to do when you went shopping. And it's like, all those stores and places, they're all gone now because Amazon is, selling all the electronics. But please don't take Best Buy away from us.
Please.
We want Circuit City back. Radio Shack. We used to walk in there and play with wires. Right. Please, we just want it all back, and then we're slowly losing.
Like you've already said, wouldn't even buy a thing. Just
go in there.
Just stuff. Ladies, I know you're listening. Children, I know you're listening.
Go get them a Best Buy gift card.
This just isn't about you right now. I'm just trying to talk to the fellas, to the men out there. They've been wanting to say this. They don't know how to say it. Some of them are aching, are crying on the inside. All we want is peace. All we want is to be able to sit down and do nothing from time to time. And sometimes that includes video games. Sometimes,
man, a new controller again.
Man. Oh man,
your chin, you just start shaking. You get that quivering chin, like, oh my god.
I'm helping the fellas out. I'm just gonna let me take the heat, fellas. You don't have to say it. As a matter of fact, when this is podcasted, just take it and send it to that loved one that needs to hear this. Some days, man, you know why Saturdays and Sunday during the fall is great? Is because Monday through Friday, we're ripping and running. We just want to sit and watch football, or sometimes have football watch us, which means we might fall asleep. But that's all we want.
True story. I just had this. You just said that. Last night I said, you know what? I'm going to stay up and watch the UNC Cal game that didn't come on till 10:30.
Yeah.
After I finished the Murder series on Hulu. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm on the couch with the blanket. I see UNC lose it on the fumble at the 1. Next thing I know, my wife is waking me up at 5:00 this morning.
That's a beautiful. That's a
TV
movie.
Still on, lights on, everything. 5:00 in the morning.
That's a movie I would go see. Ladies, children, this is all we want. Your man in your life, that guy in your life, is hurting on the inside.
He just wants to sit down.
He doesn't feel loved. He doesn't feel appreciated. I'm not going to say loved. He may not feel appreciated. He don't want much. He don't need diamonds and pearls. No, we don't need that. We just need peace.
Remote.
617-779-0985. We haven't even started talking sports and the phone lines are going.
Go download that. Go download Battlefield 6 for your man.
Right.
Right now.
Before we take a break, and I promise when we get back, we will be talking to these people on the phone. We got to introduce the music of the day. Cerrone, you and I grew up on this guy, an R&B legend, passed away, the one and only D'Angelo. Yes, sir. Today's music is dedicated to the one and only D'Angelo. Once again, the number is 617-779-0985. It's the Leroy and Cerrone show. Fellas, I got your back. I had to say that in the beginning of the show. I had to explain to the women and children what it is. I see you guys calling in. We'll talk to you next on a D'Angelo Music Saturday. Leroy and Cerrone show, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're mine, you're mine.
Two local guys, lots of local sports talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
How y'all doing out there? 617-779-0985 is the number. I promise you we're going to get to sports, and in some ways we did kind of already start talking about sports. I got a new TV. Part of the reason why is because I needed a TV to watch football on Saturdays and Sundays, and it was just one of the most. It was Christmas, and I said I got to come in here today and just reiterate and let people know that when it comes to the man in your life, all he wants is peace. That's it. He's very simple. It doesn't take a lot. I'll even go this far. I'm gonna let something out, a cat out the bag. Fellas, don't get mad if I'm revealing too much. Do you know why the man in your life loves to do yard work, fix things around the house? Can I just tell him why, Cerrone? You see,
yeah. Go
part
ahead,
of the
man.
reason is, yes, we love to use our hands. We love to figure things out. We love logic. But we also love it because that means no one's going to bother you in that time. AKA, they're going to leave you alone. AKA, peace. See the connection there? We got fellas calling in already. We haven't even started talking sports, Cerrone. They want to chime in on this. JP.
Therapy now.
NP, what's up, JP and NP?
DJ Lion, Supernature. What? I just playing a little hooky from work, heading back now. I heard you on the radio. Leroy, I miss you on the Sunday nights. Are you coming on later in the season on that? That's one important question.
No, sir. And the reason why it goes into exactly what we're talking about. I work extremely hard. I'm proud of it, but I've learned in my older age, you're no good if you're not around.
This guy.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I need rest. I need to say no to certain things, and that's one of the things I had to take off of my schedule in order to
That's
find.
a T-shirt if I ever heard one,
You
Leroy.
know, in order to find peace. Now, JP, what's your funny story you want to tell us?
So I've got, my second date update. I tried getting through to the show,
Yep.
and let me forget it. That 800 number. I'm old. By the time I get to the 866, forget it. It's after 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So Leroy, you've been guiding me. It's a year and a half of your advice.
Yep.
Old girl comes in the picture, hits her up on Instagram, tries to stir up trouble. I smooth it over. A few questions here and there. So my question is, when she throws a random dig every now and then, do I just let it go? And Leroy, it took me an hour to buy a golf glove at Dick's Sporting Goods. Yes, that's like Best Buy. The other night, I could have been in and out in 5 minutes.
Yep.
I went in every department, every glove, every hockey, anything I could look at, Leroy. It took my time.
Appreciate it, JP. For the other thing, yes, man, listen, you know what's right and what's wrong. Do the right thing. And then when he mentioned Cerrone, Dick's Sporting Goods, we forgot to mention
put it on the
that
list.
store. That's a store that when men go to, on the inside, you know what, on the outside, we might be frowning. On the inside, oh my goodness, there's joy. The inner child wakes up.
Look, for those who are on YouTube and can see me, just look at my hat. I have on a Bass Pro Shop hat. There is nothing that touches the soul like walking in a brand new Bass Pro Shop or a Cabela's. My God.
We're very simple.
My
Men
God.
are very simple. Let's go to Jeff in Londonderry. Jeff.
Well, first of all, congratulations on the new TV.
Oh.
That's just great news.
Appreciate it.
I know you'll have some happiness for a long time. And
Yes.
Boy, that's just wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, you guys are really doing important work with this conversation today, and I just want to reiterate the amazing place that Best Buy is. You know what's interesting is before you guys got on, Jim Murray reminded us that today was Super Mario's 40th birthday, and so if you're like an elder millennial, younger Gen X person, this is important territory. Televisions, video games. I want to throw something out because Ron, I think you mentioned the Hobby Lobby.
Yep.
That's a double sword because your wife might want to go look at yarn and what yarn related things. There's a model rocket aisle. Just start getting model rockets, and it's the same model rockets from the 90s.
It sure is.
Best Buy, model rockets, Super Mario. You guys are doing important work. Great.
God's work.
Yes.
God's
the Hobby
work.
Lobby has multiple sections of the model cars from the 70s, from the 80s, They got planes. They got tanks and battleships. They even got the ones that you have to paint. And then they have a whole section of the paint brushes, the little things, all the things you needed to make model cars back in the day. Yeah. They have a couple aisles of it. And then they have a section that's just for like man caves, movie posters. They frame too. PlayStation and Xbox, neon lights. I have a lot of stuff in my little cave here. They have all kinds of stuff in there, and they got all kinds of Star Wars and Marvel posters and Muhammad Ali posters. And it's always 40% off.
Oh, God.
So when your wife says, man, I want to go to Hobby Lobby, don't frown. Just go in and get in the car, and you're going to find something there for you. But we have to fellowship and share this information because we're losing it.
I know too many men that even in this building, I'm not going to say any names, but I run into people all the time in the hallways, and I simply just say, man, how you doing? And I see the shoulders, they're low, head is hanging a little bit. And I go, lift your head. I understand. How's family life? Oh, it's cool. I don't feel appreciated. I know. But lift your head. Hold your head. It's going to be all right. And that's why I feel like today I had to come in here after getting my new TV, which wasn't expensive.
Did you hook it up?
I haven't hooked it up yet. That's
oh my God.
That's for tonight.
It's Christmas when you get out of here.
Yes, that's for tonight. I'm gonna light some candles, pour some champagne as I put the TV together, mount it on the wall, and I got the speaker and the subwoofer.
You got the sound bars too? Oh my God.
Lord. So again, all we want is peace. Let's take one more call on this, and then we'll get to actual sports. Trevor in New Hampshire. Trevor, what's up?
Amazing conversation. I work in the hospitality business, so when it comes to downtime, like I really want downtime. I don't want to talk to people, so it's either going to be watching sports, playing video games, or doing yard work, like you said. But you mentioned Circuit City, and it totally unlocked a core memory of one of my favorite things. A teenager was going over to where they had all the car stereos, and you could click on a button for like the car stereo they want, and then you could like pair it with the speakers or the amp.
Yes.
And I 100% bought probably 2 Pioneer radios that were installed at Circuit City. They had like all the graphics on them. It was amazing. So like I miss Circuit City. I miss a lot, and it's fun. I know you guys are going to jump into sports.
Yep.
So semi-sports related. Have either of you gotten into the new season of Starting Five on Netflix? It's been pretty good.
Listen, that was going to be part of my entertainment report, but it's pretty good so far from what I've watched. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But the fellas are calling in. I'm telling you,
that the Circuit City car stereo section. I got my 6-disc changer installed at Circuit City in the garage. They used to do it right in the garage of the parking, or when it was attached to the mall. This was in the Prudential Mall at the time, Copley. They had a Circuit City was up on the second floor back where they had there was a hidden registry up there behind the waterfall. It was a Circuit City 6-disc changer installed at Circuit City. And like you said, listening to the different speakers, the different Sony Explode speakers and all, man. Yeah. And then you can walk over and play GoldenEye until they kicked you out the store.
Yeah.
My God.
Again, we're doing God's work this afternoon so far. The man in your life, if you're listening, I'm telling you, he's a very simple person. He just wants peace. That's it. And sometimes he needs peace and quiet. Sometimes he just needs an hour. You was talking about model cars. Let that man have his 30 minutes to an hour a day to tinker with that model car.
Or his own car.
Let's go to Kenny G in Atlanta. Kenny G.
And listen, guys, you didn't have to do that to us today. If y'all want to talk sports, you might want to call another time. Today is about us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey, I've been on the couch, and I've been by myself with the remote, and I've been having the remote every day, and I've just been in love.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yes.
So you said something, hey, enjoy that 75-inch, do it, hey, toast out to your props. You just hit me. I'm a landscaper, but you said something. Women, if y'all are listening, trust me, listen to a man who's been married 29 years.
I know.
2 months.
I know.
14 days. Nothing. That's all we want.
I got you, Kenny. I got you. We got you. Fellas, go out there and get yourself that T-shirt you've always wanted. Fellas, go out there and get them pair of sneakers that you've wanted, and you haven't had a new pair of sneakers in almost 6-7 years. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. You ever do so much and provide for everybody else, and then a picture will come up on social media, let's say Facebook, and it'll be like, man, this came out 10 years ago. And you look at the picture, and it's the same shirt you're wearing that day. Y'all know what I'm talking about. 617-779-0985. All right, so when we get back, today it's a legendary, we're saying rest in peace to D'Angelo, a legendary artist. Legend is given, like, people give that title to too many people. But last night in Major League Baseball, a legend wasn't born. The legacy of a legend just exploded even more. We'll talk about that next. It is the D'Angelo Music Saturday right here on 98.5, The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Leroy. Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle. Leroy and Cerrone on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Full count, and now Quintana's payoff pitch. Ohtani tees off, deep right field. Shohei Ohtani, 1 of 1. The right-hander Patrick deals. And Ohtani, towering wall, high drive, right field. He's done it again. Shohei Ohtani to the top of the pavilion in right field. 469 feet. The longest home run at Dodger Stadium this year. The big righty McGill sets on the mound. Here's the pitch. And Ohtani drives one, left center field. Did you? Gone! Shohei Ohtani, the stuff of legend.
I said it multiple times. We're like the Bulls, and he's Michael Jordan. And whenever he goes, we're all going to go, and you see it today.
The Sports Hub, I'm Leroy Irvin. He's Cerrone Battle. It's the Leroy and Cerrone show, and you heard it. I mean, it's been all over the place, Cerrone, this morning. If you weren't up last night to watch the Dodgers close out the series, the NLCS versus the Brewers, you woke up this morning to find out that history took place last night at that game. The legacy, the legend of Shohei Ohtani it's unbelievable. If you don't know, he pitched 6 innings, struck out 10. And then at the plate, 3 for 3 and 3 home runs. It's never, ever been done in the history of Major League Baseball. History was truly made last night. Cerrone, I don't know if you saw the aftermath. I don't know if you saw how both teams, players, coaches, were saying that was the best performance they've ever seen in Major League Baseball history.
Mm-hmm.
It was, to hear how many people are talking about it and saying it's the best performance ever. I mean, my God, give that man all the love, all the credit in the world. Shohei Ohtani putting on a show. And it got me thinking, you know, Ohtani's performance, it was unreal last night. And y'all can hit us up, 617-779-0985. What's the most impressive one-game performance from an individual you've ever seen in any sport? It could be professional. It could be college. Maybe you saw something so crazy at a high school game. Maybe. But again, 617-779-0985. What is the most impressive one-game performance from an individual in sports that you've ever seen? Cerrone, I've been talking quite a bit. I'm going to let you go with yours.
No, I mean, I don't have a single one. I mean, we've all were in this area, well, nationally, around the world, we were blessed to see Tom Brady have performances.
Yep.
And what made that performance last night stand out is the what was on the line, the high stakes. This is the World Series, chance to get to the World Series. That elevates the performances in my mind. And that's one of those performances where you're left sitting there halfway through, like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. Right. I can't believe it's something you want to call somebody. You want to, are you witnessing what I'm seeing here? Mm-hmm. And I felt that way just as a Boston fan. I felt that way Tom Brady's comeback against Seattle, which even though 28-3, the score and all that stuff was like, man, wow. There was a lot of things that happened here and there. He was magnificent in that. But to me, the one, his moment like last night was the comeback against the Legion of Boom. That second half, I'm sitting there like, he's the greatest. Like, it's that moment, like, that's it. I've seen Michael Jordan play in all the big games. People forget the shot against the Phoenix Suns series. They averaged like 40 for the whole series. But people forget the shot. You see Paxton hit the game-winning shot in Game 6 against the Suns. Mm-hmm. That was the first shot made by somebody other than Michael Jordan since the beginning of the third quarter. He was the only one to score except for one basket the entire second half for the Chicago Bulls. He gets the coast-to-coast layup, makes the pass, whatever. But there's about 2 or 3 performances where you're sitting there like, I've never seen anything that looked like this before. It's Brady, of course, Michael Jordan. Ohtani last night might be the greatest of them all. And I'm not going to hate on him. LeBron James, 29 straight points against Detroit. That was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, please, I hope the whole world is seeing what I'm seeing right here. But I'm pretty sure there's so many others, but those are the ones. In person. Me and you were there together. Shout out to Team Ops, BC. CJ Spiller playing against Boston College.
Oh, yeah.
Played against Clemson. I think he might have had 300 yards of total offense. He was doing everything. And it was one of the greatest performances I've seen in person.
Yep.
Was CJ Spiller playing against Boston, against BC, probably about 15 years ago.
Yeah. Call up, y'all. 617-779-0985. What's the greatest performance you've seen in a single game by an individual? It could be in pro, college, high school. Convince us why it's the greatest. Cerrone, I'm going to give you mine. 1997, Game 5 NBA Finals. Michael Jordan, the so-called flu game. We come to find out that it was food poisoning.
Poison. Let's call it what it is. It was poison.
38 points. But it's not about the numbers. It's not about the statistics.
Yeah.
It's the story.
The story.
Cerrone,
the story is so key.
I'm pulling for, and here's one thing that happens a lot when it comes to the Jordan era. For some reason, a lot of people think the teams that Jordan, those Bulls, went up against were somehow garbage. No. These teams were legit.
The Jazz had like 65 wins.
I mean, it was something. The Jazz, if you were pulling for the Bulls, the Jazz were a team that you worried about. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe either right before the game started or as the game was about to tip off, you heard Michael Jordan has been dealing with the flu. I know, 2 of the GOATs. And we don't know how he's going to perform. I said, oh, God, oh, no. Here we go. I'm starting to worry. So then you have that. That's part 1 of the story that was phenomenal to me. The game goes on, and y'all seen it. You saw how the man was barely able to hold himself up whenever the gameplay stopped. He scores 38 points. You got Scottie Pippen carrying him off to the bench like a child because he's so exhausted. He's so sick. They put the towel on his head. He falls back into his seat on the bench. You're like, is he going to make it? Cerrone, last night with Shohei Ohtani, one of the things that stood out to me was how the fans there stood up because they knew they were about to see something great before he would do it, and he did it. And then he got a standing ovation as he was pulled from the game as the pitcher, but then he goes back in and hits a home run. But at the end of that game, Game 5, 1997 NBA Finals, Cerrone, I kid you not, I was watching that game alone on Wayne Street in Dorchester. Cerrone, I stood up and I gave Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls a standing ovation. It was theater. Yeah. I felt as though I had saw something that I was going to be able to tell my children about. I'm so glad I didn't miss it. I'm so glad I experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
It's a couple things you said that are so key to this. For one, the story.
Yes.
Bring back Bob Costas.
Oh my God. Yes.
Doing a documentary before the game start, putting everything out there. What's the importance of these games? It's setting the stage. That's so key. The storytelling, the legacy, all that stuff. That's what made the shot so big against Utah a year later.
Right.
Is this it for the Bulls? How's this thing going to end? And then it ends in the most fitting way possible. Jordan hitting a shot and holding it in the fans. The story, it's theater. Last night was theater. That's why the stage is so, you can have a magnificent performance on the stage at Matthews Arena. It's not the same on Broadway. If you have that same performance on Broadway in front of the big lights, it's different. And that was the stage. If that was a regular season game and he did that in May,
right?
Man, did you see what he did? But because of the stakes, it's like it puts it on another level. And I think that's what makes these things so important. And it's why we don't look at, like nowadays, they label everybody great. Everybody's great. Oh my God, this guy, is Anthony Edwards as good as Michael Jordan? Is he this? No, because he hasn't done it on the stage yet.
Right.
We haven't seen that performance that makes you pick up the phone and call all your friends or go in that group chat or get on Twitter and lose your mind.
Yeah.
And last night, as good as Ohtani is, it has been, that was the performance that put him in the Hall of Fame. First of all, it put him in the level of legends, and some were calling, is this man the greatest baseball player that we've ever seen?
Wow.
And he's only 30 years old or whatever it is.
617-779-0985. Call us up. What's the greatest single game performance you've seen in sports? I see you guys there. Jonathan, Ryan, Reba, and more. We're going to get back to you when we get back. It's 985 The Sports Hub.
Stay tuned for more from Leroy. battles, giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5
The Sports Hub. It's the Leroy and Cerrone show. I'm Leroy Irvin. He is Cerrone Battle. The number here, 617-779-0985. When we started the show, I was telling everybody how I got a new TV yesterday, and it made me realize and say, you know what? Get on air today and let the people know that men in general are very simple. All we want is peace. Cerrone, you know what sports fans want? You know what sports fans, all they want? All we want is greatness or the potential for greatness. Game in, game out. When you see that people are taking games off, the potential for greatness is lost.
That's a good point.
It's the truth.
That's a good point. The less games you play, the less chance you have to have a shining moment.
To be great. We want to see stuff like we saw last night with Shohei Ohtani. Legendary work. It doesn't matter that he's been struggling a little bit. No. He showed up last night and not only performed, but put on a historical performance. So it got us to thinking, hey, y'all call in 617-779-0985 and do your best to convince us all about the greatest individual performance in sports you have ever seen. The phone lines are loaded. Let's go to Jonathan and Randolph. Jonathan, who you got?
Hey, guys. I'm going to go a bit off the board, but when people say single-handedly winning, it's usually overblown. Yeah. But the best example, I think, in the NBA history of single-handedly was a 23-year-old LeBron James in Game 5 of the 2007 Eastern Conference Championship against that Pistons team, where he dragged a bum Cavs roster to a victory in that game, scoring 29 of the final 30 points to win at the last second, and then, of course, win Game 6 to go to the finals and then get swept by the by the Spurs. But, whatever. That is dominant individual performance that it's unprecedented, and even though it's forgotten at this point because it was forever ago, but
it's not forgotten, Jonathan.
I mentioned that one. That's on my list.
That one, and let's be honest, if you've listened to Leroy and the Cerrone show, you know that both of us we're very critical of LeBron James. You can't
because he doesn't have enough of the moments. That's why. That was his last great one.
But that night, you can't take it away from him.
No, that was the night I sat there and said he might be
the one. Yes,
he might be the one. I can't wait to see how many more of these he has. Of course, he has. I mean, the one against Boston was a great one too. Game 6 in Boston when he was playing for Miami. Great performance, 49 points, whatever. But that performance against the Pistons in the second half was unbelievable. He was doing everything. The threes were falling, the layups, he was dunking, he was doing everything. Yeah. And it was one of the more athletic performances I've ever seen, that I've ever witnessed watching a basketball game. That's in my top 5 easily.
Speaking of LeBron, let's go to Ryan in Northborough. Ryan.
Hey guys, how's it going? I thought the Shohei thing was the coolest thing in sports history, but my personal favorite was Game 7 of the 2008 Eastern Conference Finals. Pierce and LeBron went back and forth. I think they both had 40, and Pierce was just nails down the stretch. And I think in the midst of that season, that performance got, might have gotten washed out a little bit, but it was unbelievable. I was in the Garden that day, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Appreciate it, Ryan. Can't argue with that one.
You can't, because, again, the stage, it was Game 7.
Yes.
LeBron and they were defending each other and was like, no, we're going to go back and forth, and whoever wins this duel is going to win this game. Pierce gets fouled, makes the free throws at the end. That was enough to get the W. But, yeah, he went toe-to-toe with him. And people – the reason it's not talked about or it's forgotten a lot because you got the LeBron fans drown out anything that happened against him or head-to-head and make it seem like those were lesser performances or he got help or whatever. And they kind of pushed that one away. But Pierce versus LeBron was one of the great head-to-head matchups for a few years. They had some of their biggest games against each other. And that one stands out because it was a Game 7. Yeah. And that whole 08 thing doesn't happen if Pierce doesn't show up like that.
Yeah, 617-779-0985 is the number. If you're just joining us, the Leroy and Cerrone Show, we are talking about the greatest individual performances in sports, in your opinion, because of what we saw last night with Shohei Ohtani. Let's go to Reba in Johnston, Rhode Island. What's up?
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
No doubt.
it's not an individual game performance, but Jerry Rice, all the records he compiled, he just made wide receiver, graceful. I mean, the guy was like the greatest guy to me ever. And some of his records still hold.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it. There is a certain game. What Super Bowl?
I thought that was going to bring up the Super Bowl.
Was it the Bengals one when they went against?
Yeah, I think he had 13 catches for like 220 or something like that.
Got to look that
in the
one
Super
up to
Bowl.
make sure, but I'm pretty sure he has one of them. Let's keep it moving before we go to break. Let's go to Mike in Rhode Island. Mike, who you got?
Hello.
Yep, you're on. We can hear you.
Hello.
Yep, we can hear you. You're on, Mike.
I'm thinking Bill Walton in the Final Four.
Ooh.
Yep, good one.
Now, in your opinion,
he's coming off on the tails of Lou Alcindor.
Yep.
And they've won all these titles, so there's a lot of pressure on them.
Appreciate it, Mike. Can I add one more thing?
Yep.
I feel like you should also, I don't know if everyone's capable of experiencing this, but you should feel the chills while you're seeing a performance like that. Like at some point, the chills got to run over your body and be like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. But Cerrone, you have something to say?
To that game, that you talking about Final Four, 73 championship. He had 44 points. Bill Walton was 21 of 22 from the field. He only missed one shot. So those who say Bill Walton should be top 75, he wasn't as good as Melo. It's like, stop it. Before Bill Walton hurt his feet, the dude was almost perfection. He was 21 for 22 from the field in a championship game. That's hard to beat.
Oh man,
that's really hard to beat. What Shohei did last night was probably top dog. But Bill Walton's performance in the national championship game is unbelievable. And real quick, basketball. You talk about chills. I wasn't old enough, but I've seen the highlights, and I can't believe if something like that would happen today, it would break the internet. Magic Johnson as a rookie. Playing center. With Kareem being out and getting a 40-point triple-double as a rookie and winning finals. Imagine if Cooper Flagg got a 40-point triple-double and had to play center for Anthony Davis this year for the Mavericks and won the championship over Giannis.
Wow.
That would be the equivalent.
Let's squeeze one more in before we go to break, and I guess we're going to keep this conversation going also on the other side because the phone lines are loaded. Amy in Cambridge. Amy, who you got?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. The 1992 NCAA tournament with Duke and Kentucky where Leitner made the shot.
Thank you, Amy.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, too. And
that's one of those, we all went outside and tried to make that shot after that
exactly.
happened.
And let's be honest, especially at that time, being a younger individual, I let hate blind me from witnessing and, really accepting
enjoying
the greatness
it,
and enjoying the greatness.
We all hated
Duke. But now that I'm older and you look back at it, it was like that stuff sticks in your head because guess what? It was great. You got to give them credit.
Kentucky team was loaded.
Oh, they were loaded.
The stage, again, this was, you got to be on the right stage. You got to be on prime time. Yeah. And that was a prime time moment. And we all went outside and had our friends throw us the ball from the other end of the court and see if we could turn around and hit that shot. We all did it. We all did it in recess and outside after that for a good year.
Yep.
So, that's a.
Let's take a quick break. You got your Sports Hub headlines, and then we get back. More of your calls. Phone lines are going. What's the greatest single game performance by an individual you've seen? This is all off the backs of what Shohei Ohtani did last night for the Dodgers. Unbelievable. It's 9:85 The Sports Hub.
Studios, WBZ-FM and HD1. It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
It is being called the greatest individual performance in Major League Baseball history. Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers not only pitched 6 scoreless innings, striking out 10, but he also went 3 for 3 from the plate and hit 3 home runs to help deliver the Dodgers the 4-game sweep of the Brewers for the right to go to the World Series. Ohtani became the first player to hit a leadoff home run as the pitcher, and the first player to have a 3-home run game while striking out 10 as the pitcher. Unbelievable. In the ALCS, the Mariners beat the Blue Jays 6-2 to take a 3-2 series lead. Game 6 is tomorrow at 8:03. College football, BC getting cracked by UConn 38-23 with about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Major League Soccer action, Revs in Chicago tonight at 6. And of course, you can catch all the action right here on the Sports Hub. The Bruins and Avalanche get it cracking tonight at 9, and you can also catch all the coverage you need right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub too. And tomorrow at 1, y'all know the deal. Pats Titans in Tennessee. Go Pats. Your Sports Hub headlines are driven by the stylish Honda Accord. Head to your local New England Honda dealers to learn more or shop online at newengland.hondadealers.com. I'm Leroy Irvin. Your next update is in an hour.
This is what happens when analysts take over the game, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub. We're back with more Leroy and Cerrone on the Sports Hub.
Leroy and Cerrone show. Thank you guys for tuning in and showing love and support and for calling in on today's question. We saw greatness last night. We witnessed greatness. If you didn't witness it, you're hearing about it this morning. Go ahead, Cerrone.
I got something just to add to that game, about that performance.
Okay.
You often hear a lot in modern media about the athletes being stronger, faster, in everything than anything. That was the first evidence I've ever seen of it. Of an athlete being better than anything we've seen in the past. Shohei Ohtani is the first one, the only one, I think, in all the major sports that you can look at and say, yeah, he might be more physically gifted than anything we've seen before that. And to that, I want to ask the baseball purists out there, I don't care if you're high school, college, whatever. Why is he the only guy that can pitch and hit?
Great question.
Why? You telling me in 2025, where these kids are lifting weights at 13 years old and going through all these programs and got all these trainers, why is he the only guy in the world, mind you, that can pitch 6 innings and hit 3 home runs? Why is he the only one? Shouldn't there be dozens of guys on the major league level that can do both? Why is it? Why do we don't see guys that can pitch longer than 7 innings? We don't see guys that can pitch and hit. We don't see the amount of switch hitters that we used to see back in the day. You know, everybody can throw for 100, but how much guys have stuff? How come we see guys that have less tools in their bag, clubs in their bag than we've seen in the past? Why is this one guy stand out in modern baseball? In Japan, any corner of the world, in the Caribbean, anywhere, why is he the only one that can hit and pitch at a high level? I can't figure that out.
You know the answer. Analytics. It's all analytics here in America, I'm assuming, is a huge part of that. Which, by the way, you got to give Shohei Ohtani even more credit because despite analytics, they like, nah, he's too good. We got to put him in. Let's get back to the phones. The greatest individual performance you've ever seen in sports. Steve and Merrimack. Steve, who you got?
Hello.
Hey.
Gentlemen.
What's up?
The best one I've seen when I was younger, so I'm a little older, but I remember Freddie Lynn hitting 3 home runs and 10 RBIs in one game. I thought that was pretty good. I never seen too many people hit 10 RBIs in one game.
Appreciate it, Steve. The funny thing is he says that, and that is very impressive. But then you compare it to last night, it's like, man, this dude didn't
Nomar have a 10 RBI game?
Exactly my thought, Cerrone. Yeah, he had 3 home runs and a grand slam in that game against Seattle.
I think it was 2.
Yeah.
2 grand slams.
Yes, 9 RBIs in that game, right? 2 grand slams and 3 home runs. Yes.
Unbelievable. Let's go to Chrissy in Connecticut. Chrissy.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
So it's cheating a little bit because I wasn't actually there, but it's very personal to me because people have been telling me about it my whole life. It was my dad. He was originally from Worcester, grew up on Long Island, played football in high school, never played offensively, was recruited to UNC. At UNC, he snuck onto the offense side of the ball the first week of camp and pretended he was an offensive player. He ended up being a running back, and it was his last game at Carolina, playing Duke. And he broke O.J. Simpson's rushing record, carried the ball 47 times, 280 yards, 5 touchdowns, and they carried him off the field. And every time I see the photos, I just cry because my dad is such an incredible person, and he went through so much. A little bit of a broken family as he was entering college, and I think he drove the campus bus, but he just worked so hard, and I don't know. That's memorable to me, even though I wasn't there.
There it is. Christy, we appreciate you sharing that story,
That's
that personal
fantastic.
story. I believe that was the 1970 Duke UNC. We got to look that up and find out who that is because I've never heard of it. But you hear what she was saying, Cerrone? You see how she was leaning more so on the story?
The story, yeah.
That's what fans want. We want greatness delivered to us in a story.
Yep.
Every game, no matter what, or at least there's the potential for it. You're not going to get what Ohtani did last night every single game. But the anticipation that something might happen, whoever they face in the World Series, I have a good feeling game one might break some type of records. Why? Because people are going to want to see what he'll do. They're going to want to see whenever he pitches again, they're going to want to see what he can do. Greatness, man. Let's go to Rick in Boylston. Rick.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
A little older than you guys, but in 1984, I was living in New Orleans. We drove up to Tuscaloosa to see Doug Flutie play against Alabama. He was down 31-7 at the half and won 44-41. Best second half football I ever saw.
My God. 1984, is that the year?
That's the year.
All right, we got to look that one up too. Unbelievable.
I had to look this one up because I know this one gets a lot of. It's one of those moments like Jordan when he gets carried off the field.
Yep.
I didn't see it personally, but I've seen some of the highlights or NFL films. The Kellen Winslow game, Chargers Dolphins in '83, and Kellen Winslow, he had a playoff record at the time. He had 13 catches, he had 166 yards and a touchdown, but he had a separated shoulder, gash, and he stitches in his face. He ended up with a pinched nerve, and he blocked the field goal on top of that. Got carried off the field.
Oh, yeah, that's up there. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Leroy and Cerrone show on 98.5 The Sports Hub, and we're talking about the greatest single game performances you've ever seen in sports. This is off of last night. Ohtani striking out 10 and hitting 3 home runs. He's the first pitcher to do that in league history. Unbelievable. Let's go to Tom in Needham. Tom, who you got?
Hey, this is Tom in Needham.
Yes.
You got me okay?
Yes, we do.
Yep. Dynamite. Hey, I want to lead off. You guys have a great show. Super great with the listeners. You know your stuff, and you keep it fun. I'm going to go local. Saw Dana Barros drop 57 on Needham High School in a 1986 like state quarterfinal game. A little bit of math, 57 points in 32 minutes before the three-pointer.
Oh.
No 3-point line.
Oh, thank you, Tom. And Dana Barros. Dana Barros is a friend of the show. We've actually had him on here before. Somebody hit him up before I do. I need to know about this 57-point game in 30-something minutes.
He had a lot of big. Wasn't he for a long time Massachusetts all-time leading scorer or something like that? I think for a good while.
I wouldn't doubt
and I think he was up there for Big East all-time leading scorer back when BC was in the Big East. Wow. So yeah, he I'm pretty sure he has a lot of performances that if we had YouTube and footage back then, a lot more people would have got a chance to see it.
I'm about to go to Gabe in West Roxbury, and I love this choice he has because I think sometimes people think a person has to have a great career before or after that great moment. And it's not necessarily true. Let's go to Gabe. What's up, Gabe?
Hey guys, what's up? I love the show.
Appreciate
it's not only one person, it's kind of a few. 2006 Rose Bowl. Vince Young, Reggie Bush, Leinart. Vince Young, he went 30 for 40 for 267 yards, but he rushed for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading Texas over USC in the hardest hitting football game I had seen ever. Every hit was harder than the next. Great.
Appreciate it, Gabe. In that game, I thought Vince Young had punched his ticket to being a legit quarterback in the NFL, and it just didn't work out that way.
It didn't, and he was out of all the players that was on that field for both sides, I think he was the one guy that didn't have a solid NFL career. Like there was a bunch. I think Jamal Charles was his running back. Earl Thomas, I think, was a safety on that team. Reggie Bush, of course, on the other side. Matt Larned really didn't blow up like we thought he would too. But yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out. But that was one of the bigger matchups of NFL talent that we've seen head to head. Some of those Alabama, Florida games with Tebow and all those guys back then, those were big ones too. But yeah, that one, again, national championship, everybody's watching, and he had the performance of a lifetime.
Again,
it needed to win the game.
We are talking about the single best performance by an individual in sports that you have ever seen. Call us up, 617-779-0985. Let's go to Jeff in Rhode Island. Jeff.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Good. You actually had mine originally, the flu game.
Oh, yeah.
But I also have a few more for you real quick.
Yep.
The Magic game against the Celtics in 1980. Buster Douglas against Tyson. And one more. I've got a couple. Tiger Woods winning the Masters in 97 and then also the U.S. Open. And I think a lot of these things it's the timing, the event, and like you said, the story that comes with it.
Appreciate it, Jeff.
There's one no one's mentioned.
What? Well, who's that?
Bloody Sock. Kurt Schilling.
Ooh.
You talk about something on the line.
Ooh.
In love with that.
That another one. That's a great story. If someone could make a book of the greatest stories in sports history, he's going to have a chapter in there. There's going to be a chapter about that. You're going to have Shohei Ohtani. There's going to be a chapter about that.
There's a chapter, yeah.
There's a chapter about Michael Jordan in the flu game, or what ended up being the food poison game. That's in the book. That's the type of stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, the story. You got to have a story.
617-779-0985. I mean, the people want to keep talking about this, so we're going to
let it ride.
Yeah, we got to do what the people want to do. We'll do that next. I'm Leroy Irvin. He's Cerrone Battle. It's 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right, welcome back, 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Leroy Irvin. He's Cerrone Battle. It is a D'Angelo Music Saturday. He passed away at the age of 51, which is crazy. There are people on YouTube watching us live, and I just want to let some people know who are asking. Yes, I do have on a Golden Girls shirt that says Thug Life. Chris Gasper wants the shirt, so I got to send them the link later on, but it is what it is. Legendary show. Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
We're talking about legends. Shohei Ohtani last night, legendary performance. Some are saying the greatest single individual performance in Major League Baseball history. What did he do? Oh, he just struck out 10 in 6 innings and then went to the plate and hit 3 home runs. Unbelievable.
And he's not done. He's got a long way to go.
So we put it out there. We put out the question. Hey, you guys call in 617-779-0985. What's the greatest single game performance you've ever seen? Not a series. We're talking about a single game performance. Let's go to AJ and Hingham. AJ.
Hey, guys.
What's going on?
This one actually came in a losing effort, if you remember, but Game 3, 2018 World Series, Nate Eovaldi came out of the bullpen in the 12th inning and basically pitched a whole game, 6 innings, I think like 96 pitches. I've never seen anything like that in extra innings like that.
Appreciate it, AJ. See, the thing I have, though, with that one, and this isn't fair, but if your team ends up losing, it takes a lot away. If the Dodgers ended up blowing the lead and losing last night.
Oh, does it sting it? Does it ruin it?
Yeah, it's like, great performance, but it doesn't enter the legendary category.
There's some that stand out.
I don't know.
Jordan, 63 against the Celtics. That's always put up there as one of the greatest individual performances in the history of that sport. They lost, but they're like, so what? That was still the best thing we've ever seen on a basketball court against a team that put 5 Hall of Famers out there. And he scored 63 points and averaged, 43 for the series or something like that?
Yep.
So there are some in the losing. It's some Tom Brady. Super Bowl against the Eagles.
Yeah, but
Edelman's out.
True. But you don't hear people talking about it.
Brandon Cooks out. I know. That's the problem.
Because they lost.
And he threw for 500 yards in the Super Bowl.
If anything, all I hear is people say, what a waste of a performance from Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
The team let him down. That's all we heard. You got to win the game in order for your performance in that game to be considered legendary to me. This person, who this person is about to say, I don't know. Billy and Marblehead, who you got?
How we doing, boys? First off, Cerrone Battle. Love the show, guys.
Thank you.
So in a winning effort by the Los Angeles Lakers, 122 to 104, the great Kobe Bean Bryant with his 81-point game.
Yeah.
If you look at it with the box score here, I know he took 46 shots, 28 for 46, but he's also playing with dudes like Sasha Vujacic and Luke Walton and stuff like that. So he had to do what he had to do. But, R.I.P. to one of the greatest guys that ever played a game, Kobe Bean Bryant.
Appreciate it, Billy. Here's my problem with that game. See, for me, in order for somebody's performance to seem legendary, it almost has to seem or come off a little effortlessly. You shoot 46 shots. Oh, he was forcing it that game. I remember. It was like, get out the way. He's going out, and he's going to do this no matter what.
Well, he had, didn't he, the game before, I think he had gone for 60, and they benched him. And Phil Jackson didn't play him in the fourth quarter. So Toronto just happened to be at the wrong place, wrong time. And he was like, I bet I'm going to come out here and I'm going to top that again. That's how he ended up with the 80-point game. But I think Kobe Bryant, I think he had a better performance. Statistically, it won't be the same, not even remotely the same. Shaq fouls out against the Pacers.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
And Kobe becomes Kobe.
Kobe, yes.
He goes from Afro Kobe, to me, is one of the coolest players ever. Afro Kobe was different. To the Kobe that we know now. and Shaq fouls out and Kobe takes over and single-handedly beats the Indiana Pacers in that game without Shaq. And I think that's one of those great, he's arrived moments. We already knew he was great. We already knew he had Hall of Fame talent, but that was the moment you said this dude can carry a team. He can be the man one day. And I think that performance against the Pacers, you got to put up on that list.
Once again, this is Leroy Irvin, Cerrone Battle, the Leroy and Cerrone Show, and we're talking about the greatest single-game performances you've ever seen. It could be pro, college, or even high school. And Cerrone, let me just get this through.
Go ahead.
I just said high school. Let's go to Matt and Waltham. Matt, who you got?
How you doing? I was just at the Curry College football game. They're playing Nichols, homecoming weekend, and their running back, Monty Quinn, he ran. He had 20 attempts, 522 yards, 7 touchdowns.
Yo,
we gotta look that up. Curry College. Yo. Is that true?
God,
522 yards.
He's still running.
Still running. Let's go to Ian.
God,
in the car. Ian, who you got?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
I got 2 quick ones, both NBA. I'm breaking it down even smaller into a single quarter.
Okay.
Klay Thompson, I don't have the exact stat line in front of me, but that one quarter where he, dropped 40-something points, didn't dribble the ball once, just shooting range out there.
Yep.
And then an obvious one, close to home in Boston, Isaiah Thomas, after his sister passed in that crash. I think the next game, what did he drop, 53 points or something like that? That combined story, and I feel like everyone was watching, and it was just, you never forget that.
Yes, I mean, again,
great one.
Cerrone, I can only speak for myself. I know there are other people who agree with me, but that's when you can combine a great performance with a great storyline. As tragic as the story was for Isaiah Thomas, it played a role, and you were pulling for him. You were grieving with him. You were like, man, God, hold him up. He went out there and performed.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he did it against an all-star backcourt in a playoff game. We haven't seen from John Wall and Bradley Beal since. He ended them. He literally ended their reign as being relevant. Isaiah Thomas single-handedly, and then he's out there wiping tears away as he's giving him a 50 burger. Yeah, that one had everything. Yeah. Good one. Great one. Great one by the caller.
I think I did. I may not have. I think I did. I do this thing where I will clap and give a standing O, even if I'm in the living room by myself. If a game is that good and it pulls an emotion from me, I'm standing. I'm like, bravo. That's literally what I say. Al in Dorchester. Who you got, Al?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good.
I got Pedro Martinez in the divisional series against Cleveland, Game 5, 1999. He shut the Indians out of the bullpen with an injury that could have jeopardized his career.
Right. Appreciate it, Al.
Good one. I thought he was going with the All-Star game. Pedro versus the All-Stars in 99.
True, but
I think
it's the All-Star thing,
But looking back, it was the steroid monsters that he went through, and I think looking back at it, we don't realize, this dude just shut out. Like, these guys were hitting 60, 70 home runs, and they couldn't touch Pedro Martinez in his own building.
Cerrone, I think we got someone that agrees.
My fault.
Andy
My bad.
on the road. Andy.
Dude, you guys spoiled it completely for me, man. I was gonna say Pedro at the All-Star game. I mean, he stuck out 5 of the 6 he faced, man. And the 5, we are talking about 3 Hall of Famers, Larkin, Bagwell, and Walker. And then 2 steroid boys, Sosa and McGuire. It's not that he stuck out 5. He made them, swing like a wiffle ball. He threw so hard. He went into a disabled list right after that. I mean, that was the single greatest performance, man, I ever seen.
Oh, I love it. People are still calling in. 617-779-0985. We're going to take a quick break. You know what, Cerrone? Let's do this for about 30 more minutes, and then we'll touch on the Patriots, Drake May. We'll touch on the Celtics, and the Celtics coaches beating down media members. Ooh, y'all ticking me off. We'll do that next. 985, the Sports Hub.
listening to Leroy and Cerrone. local guys, lots of local sports talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right, welcome back, 9day5 The Sports Hub. I'm cracking up. All right, so if you're just tuning in, it's the Leroy and Cerrone show. And we have been talking about the greatest single-game performances you've ever seen off of Shohei Ohtani last night, striking out Tid and hitting 3 home runs. First time by a pitcher, just done in the history of the game. Unbelievable. I'm cracking up because I got to take Danny. I think he's going to end up having the best call of the day. But before that, you mentioned Cerrone, someone else mentioned Curt Schilling. And I had to look it up. Game 6, 2004, ALCS. Curt pitched 7 innings. I don't care how you feel about him now. We're talking about then. 7 innings, gave up 4 hits and 1 run. Red Sox obviously win 4-2. But I remember during that game, I'm like, is his ankle literally going to just explode and give out? Are we going to see a gush of blood on the mound?
Yankees should have bunted. They should have done something to get a move.
Unbelievable story once again. But now, Cerrone, are you ready for this? Let's go to Danny. Danny in Bellingham. Danny, who you got?
So I'm going back for this one. Some of the younger listeners might not remember, but in 1966, Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns in a single game for Polk High.
I think it was 5.
Let's rock. Man,
I think it was 5.
When he would say "Let's rock," I felt that in my bones. I'm like, yo, I used to say it in school. We in a huddle? Hey, no. Hey, we need to laugh, but we need to get serious. Let's rock.
Yo, think about it. America was so different. We used to enjoy watching the family get out of the car and beat up a whole other family in traffic and get back in the car again.
Let's rock. Hey, let's go to Brandon in the truck. Brandon, I got to say thank you first and foremost for staying on the line for so long. We appreciate you. Brandon.
Hey, no worries. Going back to when I was a youngster growing up in Minnesota, staying up way past my bedtime to watch Jack Morris pitch a 10-inning complete game shutout in the 91 World Series Game 7. One of the best things I've ever seen.
Brandon, they don't make them like that anymore. They don't make them.
10-game shutout in the World Series. 10 innings, excuse me.
Unbelievable.
Ooh. That's tough.
It's amazing how games like that get forgotten until people bring them up.
That's tough. That's tough to beat. That's tough.
Let's go to Hurley in Belmont. Hurley? What's going on?
I'm just here so I won't get fined. I was in the end zone in the Seahawks stadium when Marshawn broke free on the Beastquake, and you could just feel the whole place, get electrified with each person that he pushed out of the way until he finally dove into the end zone, grabbing his crotch. And there was this moment, the stadium was shaking so heavily that, like, in your mind, you're going, I know this thing will withstand everybody jumping up and down, but your other side of your brain is like, this place is going to collapse.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. It was probably one of the loudest I've ever heard it there, and everything was shaking. And if people don't know, the reason it's called the Beastquake is because it actually registered on some seismographs near the stadium. So it was fantastic.
Appreciate it, Hurley. And we felt it through the TV. Can you imagine being there?
That's sports.
That's sports. All we want as sports fans is greatness or the potential for greatness. That's it.
What about, I know no one's brought up this part of this aspect of sports, but there's a couple that were going on around the same time, man. Michael Phelps and Usain Bolt. Michael Phelps had a run where it was like, yo, are they even going to stay close to him? And every race was a world record. And then you watch Michael Phelps during the day, and then at 8 o'clock, he come the track and field. Usain Bolt running faster than Honda Civics down the track. It's like, yo, and this dude smiling as he crossed the finish line, like, geez. We take for granted how, they are literally the best person in the world. They have to compete. The whole world has to go through 4 years of trials to reach that stage to get down to the final 8 guys or whatever it is. And they destroy those other 7 guys in record fashion in 200 meters, 100 meters. Oh, you want those some hurdles? I got you. Relay, you beat 200 meter relay. Phelps, backstroke, freestyle.
Right.
I'm going to break records in every possible way, and you can't beat me. I'm the best in the world ever, the greatest human to ever enter the water in the planet's history. Great. And we kind of overlooked those performances.
Greatness. Let's go to Alex in Holliston. Alex.
Yeah, hi. So speaking with the Olympic theme, I wanted to go back. A lot of people may not remember this, but the U.S. hockey team in 1980, Jim Craig, 20 years old, college student, beating the best hockey team in the world on the world stage and with the Cold War in the backdrop. So,
see, another one. Great story. It's such a huge role. Let's go to Harris in Roxbury. Harris.
Hey, great show as always. Now, this particular player had better performances, but if you add it all together, you'll see what I'm talking about. The first time Roger Clemens came back to Fenway after being told he was in the twilight of his career.
Oh my God.
And he came back and pitched the gym. And then when he walked off the mound, the way he just stared down Dan Duquette, it gave me chills.
There you go. Story. Once again,
Stage. He set the stage.
Unbelievable. Let's go to Kevin in Boston. Kevin, I like this. I like it. Who you got?
One of my favorite ones, I got to say, is seeing how the All-Star game isn't as entertaining as it used to be. Watching Vince Carter in 2000 in that dunk contest, to me, was one of the single performances. I was like, wow, watching it live, I couldn't believe it.
Kevin, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that stands out.
I remember picking up the phone, calling people. I felt like the Irvin household over there on Wayne Street was kind of full at that time too, and everyone was watching because we weren't expecting much. And from the first dunk Vince did, the electricity just went through the room.
It was an event. To tie it in, though, to quickly interrupt, there was no All-Star game because of the lockout, the 98-99 season. That shortened season, there was no All-Star game for 99.
Man.
That was electric.
That's when everybody remembers where they stand. Remember where they were and what they were doing when they watched that game. I mean, that dunk contest. And the funny thing was, no one remembers Tracy McGrady and Steve Francis put on a show.
They did,
but no one really remembers the way they stood out. Wow! When he said All-Star game, you talk about setting the stage. 93, Magic Johnson's comeback in the 93 All-Star game,
a good one.
And they were like, "Yo, we don't know how this is gonna work out." And Magic put on a show for the ages. And then the last 2 minutes, he called out every star on the Eastern team to go 1v1 in an All-Star game and hit a 3 over each one of them and get out of here. Next, Jordan got you. Next, Isaiah Thomas. He hits the one over Jordan, I think, and the game stopped.
Right.
They just stopped the game.
It was like, it's
it's over. It's a wrap. He had 3 straight threes and was like, it's a wrap. Beautiful. After calling each guy out individually. Yeah. That's one of the great performances of his career, and it was an All-Star game. Shout out to Magic for that one.
All right, we got to take a break. When we get back, we're going to wrap the whole conversation up. Everyone on the phone line, stay there. I'm seeing some Bruins. I'm seeing some other hockey players, basketball, the Olympics, boxing, all being mentioned. We're going to do that next. I'm Leroy Irvin. He is Cerrone Battle. It's a D'Angelo Music Saturday. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle. Leroy and Cerrone on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Welcome back, beautiful people. It's the Leroy and Cerrone show right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. The number is 617-779-0985. Cerrone, I want to get through these calls as quickly as possible. There's so many. I don't want to leave any of them hanging because we're going to move on after this. Let's go to, and by the way, we're talking about the greatest, the best single performance you've seen in a single game in sports. Let's see, Chris in a car. Chris.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up, man?
So I know you guys know ball. I'm getting up towards 50, so you guys remember this game.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Bird, 1985 versus the Atlanta Hawks. He dropped a 60 burger on him, and he scored 32 of the 60 in a 13-minute span in the second half. And the Atlanta Hawks, in the decade of the haters in the 80s, were high-fiving each other on the bench at some of the shots he was making.
You know what? That just tells me how great that performance was. Because believe it or not, last night, players, managers from the Brewers were like, yo, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Great performances. You got to put down the hate. You got to put down all that stuff and just give credit where credit is due. And I think that's what happened with Larry Bird in that game. Let's go to Davis in Boston. Davis.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Excellent. So I've got, I watched it on TV, was not there physically, but Mario Lemieux, I believe in 1993, it was his first game back from cancer treatment, and he had actually had his final cancer treatment in Pittsburgh and traveled that day to Philadelphia and played in a game, scored a goal, had an assist, scored a goal, had an assist, and got a standing ovation from the Philly fans. And I'd have to check. I believe he might have won the scoring title that year also. So a story, a comeback, pretty impressive.
Appreciate it, Dave. Unbelievable. Story, once again, keeps showing up. Let's go to Jared in Fall River. Jared.
Hey, guys, I would give anything to go back 15 years, sit with my dad on the couch and watch the Bruins playoff run in 2011. And that's all thanks to Tim Thomas. 2 Game 7 shutouts. I think he was a sub 2.0 on the goals against, plus 940 on the save percentage. And I can't stop thinking about that save against Montreal in overtime. It was stunning. It was the best time of my life, and I'm so thankful for it.
Appreciate it, Jared. Jared's not alone because let's go to Jerry in Rhode Island. Jerry.
Yeah, that's funny how I waited all the time. Nobody mentioned Tim Thomas, but that's most memorable for me. But I'm a baseball first and a hockey second guy. But last night when Ohtani hit that third home run, I wasn't surprised.
Really?
The way, they just served it up and he hit it, and I was not surprised that ball went over dead center.
Appreciate it. I love how the crowd was already standing.
Yeah.
They had accepted a long time ago that they were witnessing greatness. Even though he had got pulled from pitching, they're like, okay, all right, fine. But he's about to go up again, and this man delivered. Unbelievable. Let's go to, I'm sorry, is it Raji? I believe. If I'm getting your name wrong, please forgive me. You can correct me, from California. What's going on?
Hey, no problem. It's Rajiv with the B. Yeah, love your show. 2 things. When you were talking about the Olympics, it reminded me of Katie Ledecky, how she would do the long-distance swims, and she would lap everybody multiple times and just wait for everybody else to come to the end.
Love that one. Speaking of the Olympics, who was the gymnastics young lady who had a messed up ankle or something and she still performed?
Was it Shrug? Was it Carrie Shrug?
I don't remember her name, but I remember.
She lands with the bad ankle and still holds it?
It still holds it.
96 in Atlanta, I believe.
She about to break down and cry, and she held it. I'm like, bravo. Bravo.
Go ahead.
Let's go to Mark in New Hampshire. Mark.
Hey, guys. I appreciate you. Always love the show. Leroy, congrats.
Appreciate it.
I wanted to lay Hagler versus Hearns on you. So you fellas thought about that one.
Ooh.
As one of those, you remember what you were?
See, I didn't see that one live, but
yeah, I did.
It was recorded.
Yeah.
Kids, it was recorded on this thing called a VHS. And it was on heavy rotation in the house.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because even at a young age, it was like, man, these two are going back and forth. They going at it. They're trying to kill each other. And they gave it their all.
From jump. They went at each other like they owed each other money.
Was that the one where Hearns' Jerry Curl was jumping?
Jerry Curl all over the place. He's staggering sideways.
Jerry Curl juice everywhere.
And I think one of them broke their hand. I think Hearns broke his hand in the first round. They only went a few rounds, but they went at it from the opening bell. And that's one of the rare times. Again, the stage, the moment, everybody's watching, the build up, the hype. And as soon as they hit that bell, they went at it. And that's one of the greatest couple rounds you're ever going to see.
In the golden era to chime in boxing, particularly the middleweights with Duran and Leonard to add to the mix there too.
Oh, yeah.
My golden age of boxing.
All right, let's get two more in before we go to break. Matt in Boston. Matt.
Yeah, hey guys, happy Saturday.
Same to you.
So I was just thinking about the story, and 1936, Berlin, Adolf Hitler's coming to power on a platform of white supremacy, and they host the Olympics. Young African American named Jesse Owens comes into his own living room and drops 4 gold medals right in his face.
Appreciate it, Matt. Here's the problem.
Courage, man.
It's obviously great. We didn't witness it, but I could imagine for those who were living during that time and witnessing that had to be.
But think about that. What that was, though.
That's tough.
To walk in there like that and not flinch.
Balls. Guts.
That's, yes, of solid steel to do that. And to show up and say, let me not win this just in case they take me out for winning. And they gave him love, gave him a standing out like, yo, you the man.
Let's go to Russell.
That's crazy.
Russell in California. Russell, who you got?
How you going? Hey, old Red Sox guy. Before we played for the Red Sox, Rick Wise played for the Phillies, and he threw in June of '71. He threw a no-hitter. In the same game, he had 2 home runs.
Oh wow! I got to look that up. I'm not even going to sit here in front and act like I know about that one, but I got to look that up. That's close, but guess what? He's not old Tommy
because of the stage. The stage, there's the difference in that one.
Wow.
And one honorable mention here before we switch over. Brett Favre, 03, Pops dies.
That's right.
Monday night, right?
399 yards and 4 touchdowns in the first half. After losing his Pops. What a performance. Monday Night Football.
This topic has taken over the show. I promise you, we had so many things to talk about. We're going to get to some of them, but let's go to Steve. He's our last caller for the greatest performance you've seen by an individual in a game. Steve in Hanover, who you got?
Hey, guys, great show. I love the topic. I love everybody's memory. But mine is 2010. Roy Halladay pitched a perfect game during the season, and then in the same year in the NLDS, he threw a no-hitter. Right? He's the only pitcher to throw a no-hitter in the season and in the postseason in the same year. And then, tragically, he died in a plane crash a couple of years later.
Appreciate it, Steve.
Yeah, he did it on the big stage.
We got to wrap this thing up. Give you a Sports Hub headlines. But the theme, to me, the thing that it just, as sports fans, once again, what do we want? We just want greatness or the potential to see greatness. That's it. Sports Hub headlines coming up, and then when we get back, entertainment report and so much more, including Celtics coaches taking on I don't even want it, the media. I'm tight right now. We'll talk about that next. 9-5 the Sports Hub.
From the Telfair Type Studios, 787 HD1. It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5 the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, it is being called the greatest individual performance in Major League Baseball history. Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers not only pitched 6 scoreless innings, striking out 10, but he also went 3 for 3 from the plate by hitting 3 home runs to help deliver the Dodgers the 4-game sweep of the Brewers for the right to go to the World Series. Ohtani became the first player to hit a leadoff home run as the pitcher and the first player to have a 3-home run game while striking out 10. That just sounds crazy to say. Unbelievable, legendary. In the ALCS, the Mariners beat the Blue Jays 6-2 to take a 3-2 series lead. Game 6 is tomorrow at 8:03. College football, BC lost to UConn. That's right, BC lost to UConn 38-23. Where's Tim McCone? MLS action, Revs in Chicago tonight at 6. And, of course, you can catch all the action right here on the Sports Hub. Then later on, the Bruins and Avalanche get it cracking at 9 o'clock. And you can also catch all the coverage you need right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And tomorrow at 1, you already know, Pats Titans in Tennessee. Your Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99. Head to the 9s for game day this Sunday. Score a 6-pack of bone-in wings for just $5.99 and full-size apps for just $6.99. You gotta love the 9s. I'm Leroy Irvin. Leroy and Cerrone will be right back.
Irish shot. The Bruins.
Rebound score!
Play here. The Sports Hub. Taking your calls, giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5.
For not 35 years. Maybe. Untitled, How Does It Feel? The late, great D'Angelo, who we lost this past week. Rest in peace. It's 98.5 The Sports Hub, the Leroy and Cerrone show. I'm Leroy Irvin. He is Cerrone Battle. I got to get something off my chest real quick, but first, let's do the entertainment report. All right, check it out. Legendary music producer Timbaland is catching more criticism after the music video for his fake artist, Tata, dropped. Timbo is in it, and a majority of people have been expressing their disappointment with the move. Cerrone, where do you stand when it comes to AI artists?
I think it's ridiculous. I understand where they're coming from because I think a lot of artists in the industry, well, the big pop and R&B, hip hop, it doesn't matter. I think the artists themselves have gotten so bad that they're like, yo, let's just create one with our computer and put it out there. Because there's no personality anymore. The artists don't have any personality. None of them are different. Everyone acts like they're the greatest of all time. So Timbaland and others just simply said, yo, let's create one that'll never get tired, will never be late, will never have an entourage, will stay young forever, will stay beautiful forever, will be able to put music out in every language on the planet, and could be in any genre, anything. We can create a music video in a day as opposed to a $200 million budget in a week. It's a win for the record labels. Well, for now, but for the fan, we're like, what is going on? It's like, yo, we're responsible.
Yeah,
we did this.
Yeah, fans and artists got to be like, yo, like, I'm not with it.
It's terrible.
I can't stand it.
And real quick to add to that, if they can do that, what does that mean for sports broadcasters, announcers, sideline reporters, radio hosts? What does it mean for? They could literally think about it. You play NCAA 26, the system automatically reacts to everything you do, and it's not a real person.
That's true.
So imagine if they put a $500 million budget into it, and the thing is reacting in real time while you're watching Monday Night Football. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference, and that means all our personalities are out of a job.
I pray it don't happen. It makes me sick to my stomach. In better news, fans of the Celtics, and specifically Jaylen Brown, make sure you check out the NBC Sports Boston documentary about JB called FCHWPO, Jaylen Brown's Boston. I watched a bit of it. It's pretty good. Also, check out JB in the season 2 of Netflix Starting 5 series. You know who else is in it, Cerrone? You got SGA, Tyrese Halliburton, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. They're all a part of that documentary. So check it out when you get a chance. And we have to mention that the music world lost 2 giants. Rest in peace to rock legend Ace Frehley of Kiss, who passed away at the age of 74. And rest in peace to R&B legend and overall just a musical genius, D'Angelo, who we've been celebrating all day with his music. He passed away at the age of 51. And that is your entertainment report. Now, Cerrone, we got about 8 minutes before we have to take a break. And what I need right now, George, you can cut the music. Because I this thing went national, and what I'm talking about is Celtics coaches taking on media, Boston sports media people. The final score, correct me if I'm wrong, 57-4. If you've been listening to the Get Up Crew, Hot 96.9, for about 2 days this past week, I have literally lost my mind about this whole thing. Number one, I am extremely upset that you and I, Cerrone, didn't even get an invitation. Who's putting these garbage teams together? I'm sorry if you were on the team and you're here and you're listening right now, you can't say a word because you only scored 4 points. Where was the invite? I'm sorry, Cerrone, correct me if I'm wrong. If you and I and others had been invited, we still would have got cracked. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
But 4 points. 4? And then to have to sit around and watch videos being shared as if it was just a glorious time. You got cracked. 57-4. Cerrone, I have to believe that if you and I were there and we got cracked 57-4,
might have got 10.
I'd say, Cerrone, let me see your phone so I can wipe out that video.
Yeah, there'd be no footage.
There's no footage. I'm not sharing a thing. I'm very, and I'm going to go a little bit beyond that. This is some behind the curtain type stuff. I'm a little bit frustrated with the way that you and I are treated behind the scenes. Why do I got to run through hoops and jump through hoops, excuse me, just to get a press pass?
Why is it so hard?
And then ultimately not get one. And I'm not just talking about the Celtics. I'm talking about just throughout sports here. I know. We're just on Saturdays together. Cerrone's doing pregame for the Pats. I did postgame for 2 years. Cerrone's doing does postgame for the Celtics.
I feel like Mason with Cameron right now. Just like,
what's the deal? Can somebody please explain? And I think seeing a so-called media team get cracked 57-4, it sent me over the edge. It just really sent me over the edge. I know we're not in the in crowd. I know that there's this fraternity and Cerrone and I are considered not in that crowd. Okay, fine. But come on. A lot of stuff got to change. And I'm seeing stuff on social media that this team that got cracked 57-4 is apparently hitting the gym and trying to make a little comeback and do it again. No! There's nothing you can do after you got cracked 57-4. What, you going to get cracked 57-8? Cerrone, you and I, and these are facts. We're not going to sit here and claim like we are these phenomenal basketball players. We still would have lost. But I have to tell this story. There was a time, and I know it's 5-on-5, but we played in a 3-on-3 league. And some players from Rhode Island, the University of Rhode Island, walked in the gym. The shortest one of them had to be maybe 6'6", maybe. The tallest one on our team was it you or Davis?
Me.
All right. So what are you? 6'1". 6'1". We gave them boys a run for their money in the first half. Second half, their dominance took over.
No, they had more people.
That's right.
So they were subbing. We didn't have subs.
Point being,
we had kids.
we could have helped give the Boston media team 25, 30. We still would have lost by 27.
Here's my take with the game.
Yeah.
He did that because he's tired of hearing the media call them out about how he runs his offense, about the 3-point shooting and all that, and being questioned about how he's coaching his team. So he figured the way to stick it to the media was y'all play against us to see if you know more about basketball than we do as players. And I'll say this. I would have said, yeah, we're going to do that. But since you live by three so much, since y'all are ex-NBA and D1 players, you got the advantage. You're all bigger than us. And you hoop all day, every day for a living, for good living. Y'all can't shoot twos. Since you love them threes and you live by that 3-point philosophy, yeah, we'll play against y'all. You can't shoot no twos, and none of you can go in that green paint. Since you don't do it anyway in the NBA game, and you don't coach it. No one can go inside the 3-point line to take a shot, and you can't run a single player through that paint. Now let's see what the score looks like. Mm-hmm. And no, you can't full court press because you don't do it in the NBA, and your players can't break presses. We just saw that last two preseason games. Since you coach it and you know it so well, how come your guys can't press and break presses? So we're going to run this back. Y'all can't press no more, which was the reason they won. Evidently, the media team only got up 12 shots because they pressed full court the whole time and kept stealing the ball. Y'all can't press since you don't press and you don't coach pressing. You can't shoot twos since you don't shoot twos and don't teach shooting twos and love the three so much. And none of your players can go in the paint the whole game. Now let's see what the score is going to be. I guarantee you won't be 57-4 or whatever it was. So he tried to do it to send a little sneaky message and a jab at the media about, y'all versus the coaches. That's what he was doing. Mm-hmm. But then he broke his own philosophy and full court pressed and got dunks and layups in the paint the whole game. and you know what I'm saying? Did everything that the Celtics don't do in that game against the media. No, play Celtic basketball against the media and don't shoot twos. Don't go in the paint. And no, you can't press. Now let's see what the score is. I guarantee you there wouldn't be no viral videos going around about them beating up on the media. And I don't even know the media players what kind of game they have. I don't know.
None.
I'll give more credit. That's a bunch of D1 and ex-NBA players out there. And real quick.
4 points.
Yo, where was, who's members of the Celtics media as well?
Who?
Yo, where was Eddie House and Scout? How come y'all didn't really make it fair?
Oh.
Where was Eddie House and Scout? Where's all the ex-guys that work on NBC?
Good point.
How come you didn't put them out there? I bet you it wouldn't have been 57-4, whatever it was then. But it was like, okay, we're going to play. They observed the room and said, okay, we'll play against y'all. Because I guess they went in thinking they were going to play each other.
Right.
And then at the last minute say, you're going to play us. I would have been like, all right, bet we're going to agree to those terms, but you can't shoot no twos. We're going to see what them jumpers look like. We're going to see what your analytics look like. And one last thing. If I was there, we would have got cracked the same way. But it would have been an order 66 halfway through that. I'm not letting nobody run up on me like that.
Yeah.
There would have been some, not fisticuffs. We would have been physical. Okay, we that's how we're going to play. Guess what? We're going to trap too. We're going to press Missoula ball. We're going to be playing judo out there just like you were with everybody else, and as opposed to letting you do whatever you wanted to do. Yep. And I think that was missing. It would have been Kobe and Wade, somebody coming out with a bloody nose, but hey, it would have been all fun. But let's do it again. But let's get Scal out there. Let's get Eddie House. And y'all play Celtic basketball, and we play real basketball. And then we'll see what the score looks like.
Speaking of real basketball, the season is going to kick off for the Celtics Wednesday. You know what, Cerrone? I'm going to give you some more time to go off on Missoula ball. See if there will be any change. And again, for the media team, whoever's putting it together, don't you dare put the same people out there.
Cerrone, well, maybe they're part of the they're there every day. They get the pass. They're there at the practices. So they have their crew, man. They have their crew.
Yeah,
it's all good.
That's because we're getting blackballed. Anyways, Andrew and Milton. Andrew, what do you have to say about this whole media thing?
I thought that whole thing was so ridiculous. I mean, obviously, dude, you played at West Virginia. You're all professionals. You're obviously going to smoke them. But I thought, Cerrone, I like that idea with the no threes, but I thought another caveat that the media should have added on should have been, okay, great, we'll play this game, but I want every single one of you coaches to write a column, write an article, and put it in the paper and see what the people think about how you write.
Andrew.
And let's see how that goes. Obviously, it'll stink.
Andrew, great point.
Good point.
They should do that. All I ask is that Cerrone and I at least get an invite. This
go invite us out there. I'm gonna blow my hamstring in the first minute.
This just keeping us like on the fringe of things is played out. Yeah, I said it. We're gonna take a break. When we get back, Cerrone, a little bit more about the Celtics, and then we got to touch on Drake May and the Patriots. We have to do it. We have to.
I mean, come on. They're only winning.
It's 9 Day 5, the Sports Hub, on a D'Angelo Music Saturday.
More Leroy. Leroy and Cerrone on the Sports Hub.
Taking a lot of threes because your personnel is allowed for it these past few years. You guys are employing a faster paced style this year. Is the process of getting to those changed at all because of the faster pace? Does it lend to it differently, or is it just the same process?
I've answered that question 100 times. Find the 2-on-1, make the right play versus the 2-on-1. That's that simple. Could be a 3, could be a layup. Find the 2-on-1. Do it. I've answered that for 2 years now. Find the 2-on-1. What does a 2-on-1 present? Are there 2 shooters on the 2-on-1? There's 2 shooters on the 2-on-1. You pass, you get an open shot. There's not 2 shooters on the 2-on-1. You cut. You create a 2-on-1 in a different way. I've answered that for 3 years. Why do we keep asking that? Create 2-on-1s. Find a 2-on-1. Everybody should be able to answer that question verbatim based on my answers to that question for almost 3 years now. What's our offensive philosophy? Create 2-on-1s. What do you do when you create the 2-on-1? Read it. Find it. Last year, there was 2 38% three-point shooters in a 2-on-1 situation, so it was a pass shot. This year, there may not be a 38 to 40% three-point shooter on a 2-on-1 situation, so that 2-on-1 may be created off a cut, and then you can create a 2-on-1 in a different way than the cut allows us to get an offensive rebound. I don't understand. Why is it so hard? I said it for 3 years. You just keep ignoring what I said. Find the 2-on-1, make the right play versus the 2-on-1. For however long I'm here, that will be the offensive philosophy.
Hold on, Cerrone. Hold on.
You know what?
I know. It's 985 The Sports Hub, the Leroy and Cerrone show. We just listened to a clip of Joe Mazzulla going off on a poor. No, I'm not going to say poor. He's probably one of the players that got cracked 57-4. Unbelievable. But anyway, he went off on a media member. Cerrone, I'm going to fall back because I can feel you itching to get on him. You heard his philosophy. Basically, find the 2-on-1, create the 2-on-1, and find the open person. First of all, do you believe that is truly the philosophy? And just what do you think about Mazzulla's philosophy in general, especially heading into the season? Can it work or will it blow up?
That's like your brother playing your Mortal Kombat and he just keeps sweeping your leg over and over again and it's my philosophy. It's you know what I'm saying? It's like somebody's cheating in 2K or cheating in a game and you're like, yo, I'm using Vince Young in Madden or Michael Vick and I'm just going to roll out. Yep. And then if you come up, I'm going to throw it over your head. If you tackle me, I'm going to run by you. It's because that's all you got. That's why he keeps saying that's all you do. You shoot the 3 or you get a layup. Well, duh, you put the ball in the hoop. That's what you're supposed to do. The reason they keep asking is because it only worked one time in 3 years. That's why. The reason they keep asking you because it did not work against the Knicks and you refuse to come away from it. That's not all basketball is. That's a good strike. Yes, you want to find them. You want to create it. But it doesn't mean you create it for a 3. Create it for a 15-footer. Create it for a shot in the paint. If I got Neemias Queta and standing in the paint and he's got Jalen Brunson standing behind him, I'm not looking for a 2-on-1. I'm looking for that 1-on-1 with my 6'10 super athletic center with Jalen Brunson on him 1 foot from the basket. I don't need a 2-on-1 for that. That's 1-and-1 in a bucket. That's what I'm looking for. I'm hunting the mismatch. I'm moving the ball to find an easiest shot as possible. That doesn't mean the guy has to be wide open for it to be a good possession because of that. Hey, the whole NBA knows your 2-on-1 strategy. Guess what you're not going to have? A bunch of 2-on-1s because the defense is not going to commit. They're going to just stay home, and now you're going to get 1v1. And since you don't have Jason Tatum, you now don't have enough guys that can beat 1v1. So again, Joe, how are you going to create offense when you don't have a guy breaking down the defense, creating 2-versus-1s all over the place to his left and to his right?
Do I've answered that?
That's the question. That's what we want to know. How are you going to create mismatches? How are you going to, okay, I understand you want to get up tempo. Everybody in the preseason says, "Oh, we want to run." High school coaches are telling their kids, "We're going to be fast. Right. We're going to be strong. We're going to run the floor." That's what everybody's telling everybody right now.
You show at the camp, you don't touch the ball for the first week because they just got you running.
They got you running. That's such a high school philosophy. No, I don't want to hear about that. Are we going to be able to run pick and roll with Peyton Pritchard playing point guard? Can he move the ball? We know he's a good 1v1 scorer with electric ball handling. Can he run an offense? Because you're going to need a guy to run the offense until the other guy that ran the offense to an elite way, Jason Tatum, comes back. You're going to need all these things. What are you going to do now with no Al Horford? What are you going to do with no Porzingis? What are you going to do with no Luke Cornett? How are you going to rebound the ball?
Right. No.
How are you going to run if you're not rebounding the basketball? You got to run. You got to rebound to run. And if you run and you don't have elite, like you said, you might not have a 39% guys. No, we don't care about the math. You don't have a good player on the wing. So if you don't have good shooters and you're running, where are you running to? Okay. Gonzalez, all these guys, are they good at finishing? Can they finish on either side? Do you have enough athletes? Can you make the mid-range shot when they're taking away the three and they're taking away the drive? Because you told the media in October, all we want is the drive and the three. Okay, we'll take that away. What are you going to do when all that's taken away? It's not about shooting. He always asks about shooting the three. Yeah, because we're tired of watching you lose games by 1 and you went 10 of 56 from 3. That's why when you're the Warriors, you know who doesn't get asked about shooting threes? The Warriors. No one asked Steph Curry how come he's shooting too many threes. Because we know that's a high percentage shot for him. And he's so good at it that when you take it away, he has figured out how to get buckets in other ways. You take the three from Steph, he says, I'll give you 40 on layups, mid-range shots. I'm going to get to the foul line. I'm going to smoke your center, Al Horford, at the top of the key when you get the mismatch. I don't need a 2-versus-1. I'm going to take Al Horford off the dribble because he can't move his feet. And when he starts to commit on the three, I'm going to the basket. I can shoot the 15-footer. I can shoot the runner. I can get the layup. And if you collapse on me, I'm a facilitator. So now I'm hitting Draymond driving for the dunk. I'm hitting Clay in the corner. That's basketball. What you're doing now, you're playing 2K26 with a cheat code. And then once the patch happens, 2K players, you know what I'm talking about. Once they patch it up, and now you're not shooting the three at 40%. Now you're sitting there at 500, scratching your head, wondering why the media asking you about shooting the ball and getting good shots off.
Are you saying that you see the Celtics playing 500 basketball this upcoming season?
If you try and play like you got a bunch of shooters, yeah. But I think they have the talent if you let the talent play to their advantages.
To their strengths, yeah.
Jaylen Brown, the three isn't his advantage. It's a compliment to his game. Jaylen Brown should be 15 feet and down, shooting the 15-footer, getting to the basket with either hand, using those wide shoulders and that strength that he works on, he in the pool getting ready for.
Right.
I don't need Jaylen Brown settling. And if it's wide open, it's a settle. I want him getting to the basket, putting the other team in foul trouble, using those muscles. I want Peyton Pritchard, again, wide frame, wide shoulders, getting downhill, drawing and kicking. That's basketball. And if they don't draw, Pritchard, finish around the rim. You're great at it. Derek White. Yeah, we don't need you taking 16 three-pointers because you're so good in the mid-range. You're so good downhill. You're so good around the rim. You're strong. You can finish. You don't need Tillman. Xavier Tillman didn't shoot a three till he got here. No, we don't need them juggernaut shoulders at the three-point line. We need you in the paint, getting those offensive rebounds and putbacks and tip-ins, the same skill that got you in the NBA to begin with. No, we're going to leave the threes to Hauser, who's a specialist. We're going to leave the outside shooting to those guys that's what they do. Everybody else don't have to do that. And that's why we keep asking, why do you have Xavier Tillman taking 10 threes at the top of the key? That ain't basketball. Oh, we're going to get the 2-on-1. That's the dumbest 2-on-1 in the NBA, and that's going to cause you to not get out of the first round if you keep doing that nonsense.
All right.
They don't caught on to you.
617-779-0985 is the number. When we get back, we'll continue with some Missoula talk and Drake May and the Patriots. So we'll do that next. 985 The Sports Hub.
Listening to Leroy and Cerrone.
Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Zone.
Leroy Irvin, he's Cerrone battle. We were talking about Joe Mazzulla and his philosophy. Well, to be honest, it was Cerrone going off about Joe Mazzulla and his philosophy. You know what, Cerrone, I got to agree with you too, and I think a lot of other people do too. Let's go to Stanley in Taunton. Stanley.
Gentlemen, it's been a while. I hope all is well.
Yes, sir.
So one of the things that I wanted to add, or not ask, but talk to you guys about, and I've said this on previous shows previously, is the fact that they extended Joe Mazzulla, and when Tatum got hurt, they're asking him, hey, man, are you going to change anything different now that your star player is out for the season, basically? No, we're going to keep fucking threes. Okay, that's how you lost against New York. You guys could have won if you actually attacked the basket. No, we're gonna shoot threes. Oh, okay. Next week or 2 weeks later, they extended Joe Mazzulla, and I'm just sitting here like, this right here is his litmus test to see if his brand of coaching is actually sustainable going forward, with or without Jason Tatum, or even without Jaylen Brown.
Appreciate it. I thought we saw a bit of that last season in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We already got a taste of it. And here's the crazy part. We got a taste of it with Jason Tatum being healthy during the play. And it was just like, this doesn't look right.
When it's like, yo, are you going to stop, or are you going to – Jalen Brunson's got 5 fouls in the whole fourth quarter. You going to go to the basket or no? Nope. And it's like, are you just being defiant just because you don't like the media? And you're trying to send a message that we're going to do it, we're going to win it this way, as opposed to being able to adjust based on your personnel and the situations, the game situations. It's like, I understand you have your game plan. You wrote it on the board. This is what we're going to do. You've been telling everybody for 3 years. You should be able to read it back. Like he said, I get that. Things happen. Foul trouble happens. Fatigue happens. Injuries happen. Ankle sprains, momentum, guys going cold, defensive adjustments. What is your in-game adjustment when they take the three away and they take away the driving lane so you can't get layups in 2-versus-1s? What are you going to do then? That's what the media wants to know. Shout out for him for keep asking for 3 years. No. What are you going to do? And like the call said, when you don't have Jason Tatum dictating every move of the defense, how are you going to create offense? How are you going to create the space needed to shoot 43-pointers efficiently, by the way? How are you going to do these things? And I think that's the part he has to figure out. And I understand people feel, well, he won a championship. You know, he's a coach for whenever, as long as he wants to be the coach. That's a new owner in town. There's a new man in town. Wild Bill's in town now. You think he won his first year after investing $6-7 billion to be a 500 season and a coach that don't want to adjust? Keep playing. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Keep playing around.
617-779-0985.
2-versus-1. You and Sam Cassell for one job. Be like Joker when he broke the spool stick and threw it on the floor. I need one position.
Right. Y'all fight it out. So we are obviously, we take pride in being the show of the people. Today we talked about numerous things. And one of the things were, the greatest performance you've seen in a single game. This is off the backs of Ohtani and what he did last night. Paulie, you've been waiting for a long time. Our apologies. Paulie, who you got?
Hey, what's happening, boys? Leroy, the only reason why you're not getting those free passes is because your name ain't Cerrone Battle.
Where'd I get him from?
I know
I have I respect for you, brother, but I have even greater respect for Cerrone. He's the stuff. He knows his stuff. Anything he talks about, he knows it, man. And I tell you, producer George, he is one cool kitty cat, man. He's your best musical open guy, and that's that entire station. Let me tell you. All right, now, my hand is still burning. Those phone lines being not red hot, but white hot. Mm-hmm. Everybody trying to get in with their take on the greatest sports moment by one person of all time. Mm-hmm. So I just gotta get this one off. A couple of them. TJ Oshie, the penalty shots. against the Russian goaltender.
Okay.
Well, he hit him. He nailed about 10 in a row. It was unbelievable. It was one of the most fabulous performances I've seen in my life. And the other thing is, my boy, the baddest man that ever walked the planet at 147 pounds, Sugar Ray Leonard, the way he came back against Thomas Hearns in that welterweight battle, and the taking on that was the best division in the history of boxing, that welterweight division, with Wilfred Benitez, Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, and Ray Leonard. He beat them all, and he beat them good.
Appreciate it, Paulie. Thank you so much. And you know what else I got to say, Paulie? I really appreciate Paulie calling in. Cerrone, I don't want to speak for you, but the love that he showed you is what I'm talking about. The love that he shows George, he showed myself, he showed the show. I love
appreciate
that.
It.
And
really appreciate it.
And I hope to some degree that translates to what we have to deal with behind the scenes when it comes to the Boston sports media. I'm going to leave it at that. Anyways, let's move on. Patriots are playing tomorrow.
Forgot about them.
1:00, Tennessee. Before we go on to talk about Drake May in the game, let's go to, I believe it's Hugh in Easton. Hugh, is that right? Do I have it right?
Yes. I want to talk about Derrick Henry. Everyone told me he's coming to the Patriots, Derrick Henry. What do you think about that?
Appreciate it. Derrick Henry coming to the Pats. Again,
I'd love it, but I don't think Baltimore would get. I don't think Baltimore's giving up on their season just yet.
We said this last week. It's like, listen, if on one hand we're all saying, hey, the AFC is wide open, and even
it's still wide open,
right? Even though the Ravens are struggling, come on now. They're a few injuries away, especially Lamar Jackson, of getting it right and being back in it. So no.
They all they need is Lamar Jackson and that defense to get healthy again, and they'll be, if they're sneaking as a wild card, the last team you want to face is a healthy Ravens team in the playoffs. Even if you're a Patriot fan feeling good about your team, you don't want to see the Ravens. No, I don't think they've given up on this season yet, and I don't think they're going to get rid of, because if you get rid of Derrick Henry and start trading pieces, you're giving up on the season and probably the future of the Ravens right about now, but I don't see them doing that.
All right,
there's others that'll be available.
Let's take a quick break. Speaking of MVP candidates, somehow, some way, Drake May's name has entered the room. We'll talk about that next, plus the players' call. It's Leroy and Cerrone, 9-5 The Sports Hub.
local guys, lots of local sports talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's your opinion of Drake May? Is he an MVP candidate through 7 weeks?
Yeah, I think he has to be. I don't think anybody expected them to be leading their division. I don't think anybody expected them to beat Buffalo. And the thing that I love about Drake right now is that it's not just dink and dunk, manage the games, we're winning. He is chunking the ball down the field, and he's throwing it extremely well
when the referees don't call a flag.
The field, even when the referees don't call a flag. I just think that's the difference maker, is that he's playing good football, but he's making the big plays over and over.
And just giving Drake May a lot of love, a lot of credit for a lot of things. I mean, at the end of the day, Drake May is 5th in the league in passing yards. 1,522. He's second in completion percentage, 73.2. He has 10 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers is leading the league with 14, but he's not too far off. He only has 2 interceptions. The team is 4-2. They're first in the AFC East. Cerrone, has Drake May truly arrived, or is there still another level for him to reach? And then I also want to ask Cerrone, has May's recent performance caused you, or should it cause all of us to adjust our expectations for him and the team?
Well, first of all, as far as the team, like Kurt Warner saying, no one had them this high, being 4-2. I think a lot of people actually did. They just didn't have it the way it worked out. Like, for example, everybody had them beating the Raiders in the first game. That's one victory. You had them over Miami because Miami's a mess. We thought they would beat the Saints. The only one we didn't think what they would win was the game against the Bills. That's the one. And the Steelers, everybody had the Steelers as one of the better teams. So you had them through their first 6, losing to the Steelers and losing to Buffalo. But you lose to Oakland. Wow. You lose to Vegas, and you also lose to the Steelers. So I think many had them at 4-2, but and we knew they had a soft spot in their schedule coming up now. But we thought Baltimore was going to be tougher. Cincinnati down the line is going to be tougher. Atlanta, Buffalo again. That's where you thought the L's were going to really come. But I think early on, people thought they would have decent success out the gate. As far as Drake May, I think the arm talent, the touchdowns, the big plays, the magical plays, we expected that. The unexpected part that I think that has him in MVP conversation is he's not turning the ball over. That's the thing we were all worried about last year. And those who've seen him in college, the costly turnovers, and he's been holding on to the ball. He's been throwing the ball away. He's taking off running. He's making good decisions. And we didn't see this accuracy. Throwing in the mid-70s, no one had that. Like, yo, you serious? And we expected more from Pop Douglas and some of these other guys. He's still not getting those kind of performances, but yet he's putting up the numbers. Offense is moving right now. They're scoring points. They're doing their thing. And yeah, I think he's absolutely arrived. Now, with that being said, the second part of your question, I think we do have to adjust our expectations sooner than later, because he's on the brink of being one of the best. He's not that far from the top. And the reason I say I think he's close to being one of the best is he doesn't have the best supporting cast. He still doesn't have a bunch of elite receivers. We watched Joe Flacco take Joe Burrow's weapons and light it up better than he did even when he was in Baltimore. When Drake May, what would he look like if Stephon Diggs was his 3rd best receiver? And in most safe cases, that's what you would have. So I think we have to adjust our expectations sooner than later. I think that with that schedule and the way they've been playing so far, I think it's the healthier. This team can compete. And who's the best team in the AFC, Leroy?
Right.
Who can't they beat in a one-game matchup? Who can't they beat right now?
Now, tomorrow at 1, they go against the Titans. The Titans have some issues when it comes to injuries, plus they're just not playing good football overall. Cam Ward, we talked about this off air, like no one's even talking about him. Just your expectations tomorrow. Pats, Titans, 1 o'clock. Game ends. What's the results?
No Calvin Ridley. I think they get him, man. I think they get beat. They won the second lowest scoring team in the league already. Their one win came off an interception and the guy fumbled it. But I think they're just so banged up offensively. They're not going to be able to score enough points. They're talking about players being traded, key guys on the D-line. There's some of the linebackers. And I think they're a mess right now. Coach just got fired. Maybe they might get a little boost early on after that simple game plan to start the game off. But as long as the Patriots don't put the ball on the ground 5 times, they should put a 30-burger or more on this team, and we should be moving on to whatever comes up next. But I think they're in bad shape. And, I said this many times during the offseason. I never understood why Cam Ward was the unanimous lock as the greatest player in college. Oh, no, we got questions about everybody else. Oh, he's no doubt he's number one. If you're the no doubt number one, you don't have the worst offense in the league.
Right.
I'm sorry. And you have decent weapons around you. And that's where they're at now. And I never was a believer in Cam Ward, and I'm not going to be a believer going into this game tomorrow, especially shorthanded with weapons. So I think they're a mess right now. And the little edge the Patriots getting from the Vrabel situation, I think they're really trying to rub it up and take advantage of the Titans on this one tomorrow.
That's what's up. All right, we got about 2 minutes left in the show. Let's do the players call.
Y'all want to hear my player call? I think, do you want to hear the player call?
All right, once again, this is the time when we take time to show love to someone who's doing something extremely phenomenal in sports or in our everyday lives. And with that being said, George, you go first.
All right, batting leadoff. My player's call goes to a lovely Puerto Rican, somebody who I admire. It's his 50th birthday today. The coach of the current Red Sox, Alex Cora, is who I'm talking about. So I thank you for always having the Red Sox in a position where the fans can say you're getting the most out of the talent, consistently overachieving. And yes, they did that to an extent this year, especially when the front office traded away Rafi Devers. So hopefully we're adding another World Series to the resume of Alex Cora. Happy birthday shout out and wishes to Alex Cora.
There you go. Cerrone, who you got?
I got 2 real quick one. The first one goes to Drake May, my sports related one. Mm-hmm. Drake May for showing up at the CM game yesterday.
That's right.
And just, that's a long way to go. And it's an easy way to become the face of Boston sports, is being out there, being public, being seen, and knowing that the team is about to go on the road to Tennessee. He still found time in his day to go out there and be amongst the fans and amongst the people. So shout out for him. And this is kind of a gaming music one. Rockstar Games, we all know, what's the game? GTA, we're waiting on that. Rockstar paid a tribute to D'Angelo because of his song Unshaken. For those who play Red Dead 2, you know the moment, the tearjerker moment at the end of Red Dead 2. They played that's the D'Angelo track Unshaken, and it's made one of the most popular songs in the world. And the Rockstar gaming community showing love that way and using the internet, gaming and stuff like that in the right way to celebrate the life of D'Angelo we've been playing all day. So shout out to Rockstar and those involved in that.
There you go. That's what's up. My player's call goes to former New England Patriot and current member of the Commanders, Dedrick Wise. Despite playing for Washington, he's here in Boston, Mattapan to be exact, to host the 6th annual block party. It's free, and the fact that he's still here despite no longer being a member of the Patriots, it's heartwarming, it's encouraging, and it's respectful. So Dedrick Wise, you, sir, get my player's call. All right, that's it for Leroy and Cerrone. I think we're off next Saturday. I think so.
Yeah, I would think the next couple as well.
But regardless, thank you all for participating, for listening. You guys are family to us. Until next time, live good, eat good, and please show your fellow man the